Hi everyone. So like I said, today we're doing a low-key kind of glam look. Do those two things go together? I think they go together. For those times that you want to look a little bit glammed up, but you're not looking for like full on, like I'm going to the Oscars, just like I'm a little bit glammier than usual, but I can still wear maybe like jeans and a nice sweater to this party or a kind of casual dress. So I love holiday makeup and I've been looking for a lot of looks, and I found a picture that kind of gave me some inspiration, and I wore it to a holiday party earlier this week and I really liked it. And so I thought that what we would do is kind of go step by step. So you can watch these videos totally in order, or you can say I just want to focus on this one thing. Whatever you want to do, you'll be able to see how I got it in short chunks. So this video is going to focus on how I get my skin ready. So what I've already done is washed my face this morning. I put on a moisturizer, and I also put on some anti-wrinkle treatment kind of around my eyes. I'm trying to work on that area. So my skin is pretty ready for the makeup to begin. So the first thing I'm gonna start with is, you might notice that I've got this fun birthmark in my forehead and what's left over from a pimple I had a couple of weeks ago kind of hanging out. Pretty pale. Red shows up on me a lot. And so the way to combat that is with a green concealer. Now this is our older formula. It's gonna go on a little bit thinner. If you get the newer formula, which I'm getting ready to have on the way, it's more concentrated, so it will take less. Either way, this stuff is super good. And so what I'm gonna do is grab, I'm into these oval brushes right now. I don't use them for everything, but they're definitely good for some things, and they're super soft. And I like them because I feel like this is a more natural motion than this. I feel like I have a little bit more control. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of the green concealer and put it right on there. That was actually a lot. And this will do a lot of my face. So I'm gonna kind of go in areas where it's red and tap it on right here. And because it's the opposite color of red, it cancels it out. So you can already see how it's less red. Now, you probably wouldn't want to go out with just green concealer on, because you're going to be able to see it. It kind of lightens your skin a little bit in the areas where you put it on. But when you put it under other things, then it does kind of help to blend that red out. For me, the red in my skin is pretty noticeable. So if I don't use this, sometimes things will show even through concealers. So this just kind of gives the concealer a better base to start with. In places where I need a little bit more coverage rather than rubbing, I recommend tapping. And I'm just gonna take a little bit more because this birthmark is pretty solid, and possibly because I worked out a little bit earlier and my birthmark shows up more when I'm hot or overexerted or sick. So fun fact, that's how you can tell how I'm feeling. But you'd have to catch me without makeup on. All right, so that's the green concealer, which I have somehow gotten all over my fingers. All right, so now that I've done that, I wanna go in with light concealer. I love the new formulas for our concealers. I feel like they work really well. They provide a lot of coverage, and they're buildable. So if you have a spot that's maybe a little bit harder to cover, you can use that. I am just wiping some of the green concealer off the brush I use, because this is the brush I like to use for concealers in general. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit, probably too much. That's okay, we'll put some on here because we're gonna use it later anyway. And then again, just go in the places I wanna cover up. So I always go there, and I have a really weird chin, so I'm gonna go in here, and then I'll come back and get under my eyes. So I just tap this on because I want more coverage, especially on my birthmark. A lot of people don't even know I have a birthmark. That's how good our concealer is. On my chin, I don't want quite as much. Now, part of the reason that I rub it more in some places and pat in others is I don't want my skin to look all one color, and we're gonna cover that a little bit in the next video, but I want it to have some depth and some shadows and stuff, because that's how your skin looks. And then I'm gonna come back in with them under my eyes. I use two different kinds of concealers under my eyes, so it'll start with this underneath my makeup, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put another one on top of my tinted moisturizer. So And just be careful under your eye, that skin is delicate. So tap it in a little bit, just kind of evens it out, brightens it up. All right, so that preps my skin for the next thing I use, which is, I love our Tinted moisturizer. Love, love, love it. Look, here's the deal. You can tell I have freckles, and for me, when I go full coverage foundation, I find that it looks a little odd on me because I go from like freckle, 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 no freckle. And that's not a natural look for me. So even if I use a foundation, I thin it out a little bit with some of this. You can also mix this with pearlizer to get a more dewy look. I'm not going that dewy today, so I'm just gonna use this, but I really like this. It adds a little bit of hydration. It evens out, it's a color corrector, so it's gonna even out your skin tone, and it goes up and down 3 shades. I'm right in between light and medium, so I can wear both. I have a cousin who's slightly paler than me, and she uses the light, whichever color works best for you, but I really like this. And I just take a pump, put it right on there, and then tap some around so it's kind of all over. And then I really like these brushes because I feel like they give a pretty flawless finish all over the face here. And this brush is really soft. You don't have to pay a ton for decent brushes. I love these brushes. I just got them this week, and I think I paid $15 on eBay, not on eBay, on Groupon for them. So I am a huge fan. They're super soft. They give a really even coverage. And because this one is a little bit bigger, I feel like it's kind of blending all over. Now you can see I need to touch up just a little bit where that zit was. It's pretty persistent. It's about to get a name. It was a pain to cover when it was there. There we go. Look, your skin's never gonna be perfect, but makeup can kind of help conceal some of the things that make you self-conscious. Zits always make me self-conscious. Okay, so that's my foundation. That is the base that I start with no matter what look I do. In the next video, I'm gonna talk about how we can do some light contouring to kind of bring a little bit of definition to the face. So I hope you'll watch the next video, and I'll see you all soon.